What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, bringing you guys our Week 3 team builder for the Pokemon Global League, the PGL. If you guys are excited, feel free to show some love on that like button. Of course, after you've watched the video and you've confirmed that you enjoy the video, don't just blindly leave a like. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. Only like it if you like it. I hope you guys have had a fantastic holiday weekend, and if you didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a fantastic weekend regardless. We had a bye week. It was obviously Thanksgiving in the United States of America, and it was also my anniversary, so we were quite busy that weekend. So thankfully we had a bye week because a very busy week. But we're here today. We are taking on D Willy and the Brisbane Scythers. I hope you guys are excited. Be sure to check out my opponent. The link to his channel will be in the description of this video, and let's get right into it. So on paper, this is a horrible matchup for your boy. I have made several notes that Ice just absolutely bops my team, and this week, I honestly, if I had to trade teams with any one person in the league, it'd be this team. I love this team. You guys will start to see his team appear on screen right about now. He has the Mega Blastoise, which is a pretty underrated Mega in my opinion. Hits pretty hard with the Mega Launcher ability. It's got great bulk. It's got great special offense. It's hazard removal. It has rapid spin. It hits pretty hard with things like, you know, Water Pulse, Scald, Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere, things like that. Ice Beams, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse. I think I said Dark Pulse twice. He's got the Qwilfish, which can be a really cool Pokemon depending on how he wants to bring it. It has access to 2 really good abilities in League format, Unaware, preventing it from setup mons. Like if I'm +2, it doesn't register that I'm +2, it just does the damage like normal. Or it's got Magic Guard, which prevents damage from any secondary abilities or secondary effects, so something like entering in on rocks, spikes won't affect it, burn, toxic damage, all that fun stuff. It's got a plethora of setup opportunities with things like Calm Mind, with things like Cosmic Power, with Calm Mind and Cosmic Power, is that it? Charge Beam, I guess. But it is a cleric. It can provide wish support. It does have reliable recovery. It's a pretty cool fairy type Pokemon in my opinion. Next up, he's got the Delphox, fire and psychic type with the Blaze or the Magician ability. Hits pretty hard. It's a pretty good Z user in League format in my opinion. And this being an open crystal league, I do feel that this is a, like I said, a pretty good candidate for the team to bring this week. It can hit really hard on both sides. It can power herb, and then things like Magician being able to steal my item is definitely no bueno. It's got the Gengar, which if you've been living under a rock, it no longer has the Levitate ability like it had in Oras, but it does have the Cursed Body ability, which is something to keep in mind. 110 base speed. Gengar is an absolute threat. I love Gengar. I love Gengar in competitive format, whether it's Smogon singles, whether it is what I've seen from it in VGC, what I've seen from it in League format, what I've done with it in League format. Gengar is incredibly formidable. It does have access to Toxic Spikes. It can Will-O-Wisp, it can Disable, it can Destiny Bond, it can do a plethora of things. But Ghost and Poison Stab, just, you gotta have the right Pokemon for the job in that case. Because if without a counter to that, it just, Gengar has the potential to rip through teams. Got the Hydreigon, Levitate ability, giving it a ground immunity, Dark and Dragon typing, base 98 speed, so often you see this thing Scarf, but it can be a nuke with specs. It can also be ran with some pretty intimidating Z crystals like Dragonium Z, Darkium Z. In this case, because we do have the Aromatisse, which I'll talk about here in a moment, could be running the Steelium Z or even the Poisonium Z Belch as well. Does have U-turn potential, does have Defog, does have Roost. Got the Klefki. Klefki is a Pokemon that you always have to prepare for in some way, shape, or form. It does have Prankster, Defog, Spikes, Screens, Magnet Rise. It can Thunder Wave, it can Toxic. It can do a lot of stuff with that Prankster. And then because of its ability to Prankster Magnet Rise, you do need to kind of be careful as far as how you prep for that thing. Steel Fairy typing, so we do have our own Steel Fairy type, but it still does it's annoying enough. It's annoying enough. He's got the Masquerain, so he does have Webs potential. I hope I don't underestimate Masquerain, but from my knowledge, Masquerain, Bug, Flying type, Air Slash, Hydro Pump, things like that, it can set up Sticky Web, so it could be a Sticky Web lead. Here's where I get a little scary, is that he's scared. He's got the Alolan Sandslash, which rips my team open, with the Slush Rush ability being able to double its speed. Ice and Steel Stab just absolutely runs me. Icicle Crash got like Ice and Steel Stab with ground coverage. Stop. I'm so terrified of that thing. We got the Seismitoad, pretty bulky water ground type, excuse me. No reliable recovery. It can set up rocks. It can run a multitude of things, including knockoff. It does have physical coverage as well as special coverage as well. You got the Thunderous Therian, giving him an electric immunity, electric and flying type. Ground type. Electric and flying type with Volts Absorb. It's got a pretty good speed tier. I believe base 110, 111, something like that. Not mistaken. I gotta double check that. Now I'm gonna guess myself. I'm gonna second guess myself. Normally I've got these stats in front of me, but I don't. Base 101. I'm sorry. Thunderous Incarnate has 111. So this is base 101 speed. So we cannot speed it with things like Latios. We cannot speed it with, or Latios, excuse me. We cannot speed it with things like Sneasel. Again, another really good Pokemon in League format to abuse an OpenZ Crystal League with access to set up with Agility, Nasty Plot, being able to. It's got a pretty solid variety of coverage moves in my opinion. So being able to pair that with OpenZ Crystal is pretty formidable. And then the last thing to pair off the threat that is Please Don't Bring Hail is the Vanillux. It does have the Ice Body and the Weak Armor abilities, but more importantly, it has the Snow Warning, being able to set the Hail for Alolan Sandslash. Vanillux, again, runs my team. Absolutely runs my team. Specs Vanillux is something I could definitely see coming with things like Blizzard, Freeze Dry, Flash Cannon, and Veil. I don't know. Vanillux does get Veil, I believe. I know Sandslash gets. But yeah, it's absolutely just completely runs my team. So that is his team. Some things to note about the team. He does have 3 rockers in the form of Clefable, Seismitoad, and Sandslash. Alolan Sandslash, excuse me. A Spiker in the form of Klefki. A Webs user in the form of Masquerain. 2 Spinners in the form of Mega Blastoise and Alolan Sandslash. 4 Defoggers in the form of Hydreigon, Klefki, Masquerain, and Thundurus. A Healbeller and Aromatherapy user in the form of Clefable. So this team, like I said, this team on paper, this is a stupid hard matchup for me. I don't have the most confidence going into this matchup, but I have prepped my butt off for the Hail that I guarantee he will bring. If he doesn't bring Hail, that's my own fault, but Hail rips my team. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it because the first Pokemon on our team, actually, I believe I talked about it in week 2, but we dropped Toguro the Hariyama. Hariyama wasn't making its way out. I wanted something that could Wish Pass because we do have a lot of really bulky Mons that would appreciate a Wish every now and then. We do have some slower Mons that can appreciate Trick Room. And just a Cleric on the team would be pretty cool as well. So we dropped Toguro the Hariyama, and we picked up Botan the Aromatisse. Yes, your boy has been watching Yu Yu Hakusho. We're bringing Aromatisse this week with the Aroma availability, the leftovers, the 4 attacks. We are rocking our Wish, Protect, Moonblast, and Trick Room. We have 236 EVs in HP, 108 EVs in defense, and 164 EVs in special defense with a sassy nature, boosting our special defense and minusing our speed. So, Wish, Protect, and Leftovers guarantees us some recovery. Aroma Veil makes it so we can't be taunted. Moonblast is really good to stab, aside from hitting the Gengar and the Klefki and the Alolan Sandslash. Moonblast hits everything else on his team for neutral or super effective damage. Oh, and Delphox, excuse me. And then Trick Room is really nice because Alolan Sandslash can be a threat. If he goes for a Swords Dance against my Aromatisse and I go for a Trick Room, then we're in a better position to take that thing on because obviously we will underspeed him, and in Trick Room we'll then be outspeeding him. So Sassy Nature does allow us to live Specs Flash Cannons from Hydreigon, Steelium Z's from Hydreigon. It's a really well-rounded Pokemon, especially with the HP and the defensive investment. We're able to take hits on both sides. Alolan Sandslash just hits this thing. I mean, we don't want to take an Iron Head by any means, but every special threat on his team, he's got a lot of special offense. Mega Blastoise, Clefable, Delphox. We don't want to take a Sludge Wave from Gengar. We take hits from Hydreigon. We take hits from Masquerain, Seismitoad, Thundurus, and Vanillux, if I'm not mistaken. So we take a hit from everything except that's not named Gengar, offensive Iron Head Klefki, and Alolan Sandslash. So I really, really do like Aromatisse. Being able to Wish Pass into some of our other Pokemon is going to be really nice, and being able to set up that Trick Room to be able to help us out, especially if he does bring Webs, then we'll be able to turn around and go for our Trick Room, and then he'll be boosting our speed under Trick Room, which is really, really nice. So the next Pokemon we're bringing is definitely an interesting set. I really do hope it puts in a ton of work because I really, really do like this set. We are bringing Jeff the Galvantula. Jeff has the Compound Eyes ability, boosting the accuracy with Electrium Z, Sucker Punch, Thunder, Energy Ball, and Bug Buzz. 28 in attack, 252 special attack, and 228 speed with a hasty nature. So love this set. Love this set. And again, as always, shout out to the boys in the front office for helping me put together this team. The Galvantula does outspeed Delphox by 1 point. That was the fastest thing we can outspeed on his team, barring any Scarfers underneath that, that would be outspeeding Galvantula. Thunder, Compound-Eyes Thunder is really nice because once Seismitoad and Thundurus are gone, he does not have an electric, like, switch. And if it's an electric switch, it's not a Bug Buzz switch. So Hydreigon is like, oh, I'll take a Thunder, and then we Bug Buzz its face off. So, but Thunder just hits absolutely, just raw Thunders just absolutely hurt. And we were debating Magnet, but Electrium Z Thunder actually does just drop a nuke on some certain Pokemon. We do outspeed anything that's not Scarf Hydreigon, and we have switch-ins for Scarf Hydreigon. So I'm not too worried about that. Energy Ball is there for the Seismitoad. Sucker Punch is really nice tech because it does give us a little bit of priority over something like a Scarf Delphox or a Gengar that decides to go for a KO. It does give us more priority in general for the team, but it's not doing too much. Galvantula doesn't have that impressive of an attack stat, and we don't have that much attack investment, but it is some nice chip damage with the... Excuse me, I'm so sorry. With the Hail Up, with any potential hazards that we get up as well. I really do think Sucker Punch can hopefully put in some work. The next Pokemon we have on the team, we are bringing Roger the Diggersby. Choice Scarf, Huge Power Diggersby. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But this is a really interesting Diggersby set. The 4 techs we're bringing this week are Return, Earthquake, U-Turn, and Knockoff. Now, typically you see Diggersby with a Scarf, you see a lot of attack investment, but here's our Diggersby set. 228 HP, 76 in attack, 4 in defense, 108 in special defense, 92 in speed with a Jolly Nature. We are outspeeding everything on his team, barring any Pokemon with a Choice Scarf and Sandslash in Hail. So, we outspeed the fast thing on his team, being the Thundurus, and the spread is actually, we are a bulky Scarf Diggersby. Huge Power does do enough to where our returns, Earthquakes, and Knockoff are still doing a tremendous amount of damage, and we are bulky enough to, avoid a 2-hit KO from Gengar's Focus Blast. So if we do switch in on a Focus Blast, or we're bulky enough to live Focus Blast, I think after Rocks. Let me double check that. Count. We are Is that the right set? That is the right set. I wanted to make sure I had the right set imported. So let me see here. Yes, Focus Blast after Rocks is a guaranteed 2-hit KO. So we can switch in on this thing once. If he goes for a Focus Blast with Rocks up from full, we still live that Focus Blast, provided he's not Specs or Life Orb or any boosting nature. Just max special attack Gengar. After Rocks, we do live that. And we're able to turn around and knock it out with an Earthquake or a Knockoff, provided he's not Culver or Shuka. But in that case, then that's just good prep on his part. But other than that, like I said, we outspeed his whole team. We are putting in a lot of work. Things that don't appreciate an Earthquake, or things that appreciate an Earthquake don't appreciate a Return, and vice versa. And then Knockoff is just really nice for removing items. The next Pokemon we have on the team, this is really my Qwilfish answer, and I'm hoping it works out, because let me tell you, I'm excited and hopeful that this works out. For the first time, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing Bath Bomb the Qwilfish. Qwilfish has the Intimidate ability, dropping the opponent's attack stage by 1. Upon switch in, we have the Shuka Berry, reducing super effective ground type moves. We have Revenge, Spikes, Poison Jab, and Aqua Jet. 228 HP, 132 in attack, and 148 in defense with an Adamant Nature. So this is my Alolan Sandslash switch in. Let me pull up this count here really quickly if I haven't already deleted it. Let me see here. Is this the right one? That is not the right one. With Intimidate and Shuka Berry, we do live a +2 Groundium Z Earthquake, because Intimidate will drop it to +1, and then we live the Groundium Z Earthquake because it's not Stab, and then we're able to OHKO it with Revenge. That's what the spread and the Shuka Berry does. That's exactly what that is there for. The 132 in attack is just to pump in, so Revenge actually does kill afterwards, and does more damage with Poison Jab against things like the Clefable, which is really good to hit in case it is a Calm Minding set. And Aqua Jet, again, is there for a priority against things like Gengar, against things like Delphox, against things like Thundurus, just being able to chip those things down a little bit with the priority that we have on the Galvantula, and with the hail damage as well, being able to make room for other Pokemon to clean up. I think Qwilfish is, if this pulls off, if I pull this off with Alolan Sandslash, I'm retiring it. The next Pokemon we are bringing back Big Boy Man, the Regrock with the Clear Body ability, rocking that AV. I love me some AV Regrock. Honestly, it's so good. We have Stone Edge, Iron Head, Drain Punch, and Explosion. 220 in HP, 52 in attack, 236 in special defense with a Careful Nature. We are taking hits from Delphox. We are taking hits from Gengar. We are taking hits from Hydreigon. We don't appreciate, obviously, water moves from Blastoise, but anything that's not Blastoise, we're taking a hit from. We chew hits from Thunderous all day. Stone Edge is really nice. It hits Pokemon like Delphox for super effective damage. Gengar is very frail defensively, so we obviously hit that. Stone Edge hits everything so hard, because if it isn't like a hard resist, it just doesn't appreciate it. Iron Head is there for the Clefable. Iron Head also is there for the Klefki in a sense. We do have the Drain Punch for the recovery. Being able to Drain Punch something like the Hydreigon can be very cool. Being able to just get a little bit more chip damage from the Alolan Sandslash as well. Being able to hit that 4 times effectively and get some recovery. And the last move we have, excuse me, this is why I don't record right after breakfast, is Explosion. If I live a hit and this is a dire situation where I need to pick something off, I have a exploding Regrock on my side. So hopefully that does put in some work. I'm very hopeful that Explosion Regrock does something cool, but I'd rather not explode. I'd rather keep it around and, you know, maintain my differential. Excuse me. The last Pokemon we are bringing is Toof, the Mega Mawile, with the huge power ability rocking that Mawile. Play rough, knockoff, Brick-a-Break, and Iron Head. 156 in HP, 252 attack, and 100 in speed with an adamant nature. So we are underspeeding everything except Clefable under Trick Room. We are outspeeding Clefable outside of Trick Room. Yes, okay, I had to double check my speeds. Yes. Play rough hits everything so very, very hard. Knockoff is really, really nice for moving items. Brick Break is there. It does 4 times effective damage. Excuse me, to the Alolan Sandslash. Iron Head is there for the Clefable. Under Trick Room, this thing just absolutely puts in a ton of work. Hits like a truck. I really don't know what else to say about Mega Mawile at this point. I feel bad because we haven't had too many matchups. I feel like where Mega Mawile puts in a ton of work. Mainly because there's a lot. I guess in me drafting Mega Mawile, all the other coaches said, we're going to draft something that can deal with Mega Mawile. And in this case, I mean, like a defensive Seismitoad just kind of sits in front of me. He, you know, outspeeding me with Alolan Sandslash and Thunderous and all that good stuff, being able to just hit me pretty hard. So, but hopefully we find this matchup where Mega Mawile puts in a ton of work soon. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Of course, please let me know your thoughts on the team builder in the comment section down below. I love reading your guys' thoughts and opinions on the teams we're bringing week in and week out. Hope you guys are ready for the battle tomorrow. If you guys have enjoyed, only if you've enjoyed, make sure you show some love in that like button down below. If you're new, feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. All that being said, I want to remind you guys to be great and do great. I'm going to let this outro bang. I'm going to talk to you all soon. Later.